Hi there, this is Teacher Harry and welcome back to my English lessons where I help you to get a much better understanding of the English language. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today in this lesson? Well, in this lesson, we're going to look at some expressions and we're going to look at better ways to say I understand in English. Better ways to say I understand. Understand is a really interesting word because we use it to tell people that we accept and acknowledge what they're trying to tell us. Yes, I understand you. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand what you're trying to say. I understand the position. I understand the problem. So it's a really important way, but there are many other ways in which we can say the same things. Okay, let me go through them one by one. So, I get the idea or I get your point. So when somebody explains something to you and they might go into it in a lot of detail, or they may be very, very succinct, meaning in a very short space of time, you say, yeah, okay, I understand. I get the idea. I get your point. I understand what you're trying to tell me. Yeah. Okay. So somebody's trying to explain to you where a marketing campaign went wrong. So they're trying to tell you that, well, what we should have done is we should have used social media in a much better way. Yeah, I get the idea. It would have been a better plan if we'd gone social media because everything is moving online. I get the idea. I get your point, meaning I accept it. And we'll move on from there. Second one. Just a very short, I get it. Yeah. So when we say I get it, it means, yeah, I understand. So somebody says, yeah, do you get it? Yeah? And so you respond, yeah, I get it. I understand. So it could be something, it's quite informal. It could be the kids. Yeah. So you're trying to explain to the kids why it's important for them to obey your house rules, why it's important for them to clean the dishes away after the meal. That it's not just up to mum and dad to cook the food, but it's up to them to put away the dirty dishes in the dishwasher, to put everything away in the fridge, to sweep the floor, whatever it might be. So you sit down with them and say, okay, look, this is the way it is. Yeah? Do you understand? Yeah, I get it. I get it. So that's the sort of response that you're likely to get from the kids. So if you hear that from somebody speaking English or some of the kids, I get it, it means, yeah, I understand. Now, this word gotcha, it's not really a real English word. Gotcha means I get you, yeah? Okay, gotcha. And it's very, very American. Gotcha, yeah? Okay, so you can almost hear the American sitting back in the chair. Gotcha, yeah? So, gotcha means I understand. Yeah? Do you get me? Yeah, gotcha. Fair enough. Okay, that's quite an Irish expression. Fair enough. Fair enough means, yeah, that's okay. That's it. It works for me. Yeah. So somebody explains to you what we're going to do. They want you to do this work. And if you do this work, they'll do this for you. If you play ball with them, they'll play ball with you. If you want a promotion, this is what is expected. If you want a salary increase, this is what is expected. So they say, yeah, do you understand? Yeah, fair enough. And fair enough means, oh yeah, that's okay. It's a fair rule. It works for both of us. Works for me. It works for you. So it could be the negotiation in at the end of a job interview. So you've gone through 2 or 3 stages of that job interview, and the boss is or the new boss is going to tell you what's expected of you. So do you understand? Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, fair enough means, yeah, that's acceptable to me if it's acceptable to you. Fair enough. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. So when you really want to let somebody know, I understand the point you're trying to make. Yes, I understand your concerns. Yeah, I hear you. And I hear you can be a little bit condescending, but, I hear you doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do anything about it. But I hear you. I hear your concerns. Yeah, so some politician, for example, when the local people in the community are complaining about perhaps some antisocial behavior, or they're complaining about the taxes or the poor lighting in the streets, whatever it might be they're complaining about, and the politician, as politicians do, sit there and they nod their heads. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Now, whether they will act on that, who knows? But it's a phrase they use, an expression they use to say, yeah, I understand. I understand the concerns of the people in the neighborhood. I hear you. That makes sense. Now, this is quite formal, quite simple. Yeah, that makes sense. So when something makes sense, what else is there left to say? So somebody sets out the practicalities of how this is going to work. So this is the way the whole operation of using face masks is going to work in the school. The kids are going to come to the school on their own or with their parents. The parents are not allowed to go beyond the school gates. The kids have to wear the face mask going through the school gates and until they get in the classroom. And once they're in the classroom, they can remove the masks. This is the rule that we have come up with. These are the rules that we have set out, and we expect all of the children to obey these rules. And we would like the parents to agree. And the parents say, oh yeah, well, that makes sense. It makes sense to me. How can we operate this unless we have some rules and some conditions? And if something changes, well, we may have to change the rules. But at the moment, yeah, that makes sense. I understand. That makes sense. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you. When you're with somebody, it means you're not against them. So if you're not against them, you must be in agreement with what they have said, and therefore you understand. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah. So we're all behind the chairman. We're all behind the boss. We're all behind the leader of the team. I'm with you. Yeah. So when we've got difficulties, we've got situations, problems with business, issues about selling certain products, whatever it might be, we want everybody pulling in the same direction. So what we want to hear is that positivity. We want to see that, yeah, you understand the seriousness of the situation, so we can respond, yeah, I'm with you, meaning I support you. I'm with you. 100% I'm with you. Another one, slightly informal, I know what you mean. Now, that could literally mean anything. Yeah, you could understand somebody, or you could disagree with them, or you could be very against them. But when you say, I know what you mean, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean. So somebody's explaining the situation about antisocial behavior in their area. Yeah, and so it's terrible. You're trying to get to bed at 11:30, and the guys are outside revving motorbikes, vroom, vroom, vroom. They're shouting, they're screaming, playing loud music. There's nobody doing anything about it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand. I understand the point exactly. We should come together as neighbors. We should write our complaints. We should go to the police if they will listen to us and present our problems as a group. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. And another way to say it is, I see where you're coming from. So it's quite strange on the face of it. I see where you're coming from. It's nothing to do with direction, okay? Coming from here, coming from there. I see where you're coming from. I see the point you're trying to make. I understand what you're trying to say. So this is a particular problem for you. I mightn't have understood it previously, but now that you've explained it to me, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, so, somebody perhaps a little bit older in the community, they like to get their rest, and, for them, going to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock is important. For somebody younger, going to bed at midnight or after midnight may be more important or more relevant. But for the older person in the community, they like to get their rest. So the younger people have to appreciate that. And if they appreciate it, then they can say, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I can understand your point of view. I catch your drift. Well, this is very, very informal. I catch your drift, like to catch something. Your drift means just what's in the air, what you're saying. I catch your drift. Yeah, I understand the point. I didn't understand it before, but I certainly understand it now. I catch your drift. So when somebody is on their soapbox, as we say, and they're having a little bit of a rant where they're really annoyed about this or really annoyed about that, then, to give them some support, some verbal support, we say, yeah, I catch your drift. Yeah. Now, you could be complaining about the services, about the delivery from Amazon, or you could be complaining about the local services collecting the rubbish from the rubbish bins, and they leave a lot of mess on the street and they don't clean it up, and it blows into people's gardens or into their doorways. So you're having a little bit of a rant about that, and your neighbours say, yeah, I catch your drift. It's annoying, it's frustrating, and we should all do something about it. Yeah, I catch your drift. I understand exactly what you mean, and I understand what you're trying to get to. Okay, so the last one is to comprehend, or to fail to comprehend. And comprehend is another word for understand. I comprehend mean I understand what you're saying. Or if you fail to comprehend means you don't understand. So quite formal, yes? And, do you comprehend? Yeah? So it's very seldom that we use that word, because most often people will say, do you understand me? Yeah? Do you understand it, or do you not understand? Comprehend or comprehension, which is the noun, yeah? So it's a little bit more formal, not used so often, but you will see it in legal documents, or you will see it in more formal documents. And if you comprehend, sign here, yeah? So do you understand? Do you follow what we are trying to say? Okay, so these are all other ways or better ways to say I understand. So let me repeat them to you one more time. I get the idea. I get your point. I get it. Gotcha. Fair enough. I hear you. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm with you. I know what you mean. I see where you're coming from. I catch your drift. I don't comprehend. I fail to comprehend what that's got to do with me. Yeah? So if you really want to be very formal about something and a little bit standoffish, I fail to comprehend what you really mean. I don't understand you. Okay, so all better ways to say that I understand. Well, I really appreciate you joining me and listening to this. If you don't understand or don't comprehend any of this, well, feel free to write back. Contact me. You can get my contact details, www.englishlessonviaskype.com. Always really happy to get your feedback. And if there's any comments you have, anything you would like me to include, anything you're having problems with, well, why don't you write to me and I'll make a video out of it. And of course, what you can do then, you can listen to me on my podcast. You can look at the videos on YouTube. And if you want to go to my webpage, you'll find lots and lots of interesting courses that you can buy that will help you to improve your English. Okay, well, as always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your company. And I look forward to joining you again soon.